Good evening. This is All Sports with LD coming back at you with another YouTube post from my YouTube channel. Before I get into tonight's content, please like, subscribe, share, and comment. So let's get to it. I am extremely proud of Deion Sanders and leading Jackson State in the second year of coaching them to a 10-1 record. They will play Prairie View A&M this Saturday in the SWAC championship. And I think this is really important because what this ultimately shows is that given the right type of coach who can recruit, it does put the HBCUs on par with the Division I teams. This also goes to show that success can be had coaching the HBCU team. In addition to this, his son, Shedeur Sanders, was voted SWAC Freshman Player of the Year, as well as Deion Sanders being SWAC Coach of the Year. You know, he completely turned this program around. The first year, which is last year, was shortened season, went 4-3, which is one game above 500. This year, they went 10-1. As you can see, a vast improvement from the first year, and it took just 2 years to really turn this program around. They're now competing for a SWAC championship. So this goes to show you that putting the right people in the right places at the right time breeds success. Hopefully what this will do is that it will show former NFL players who are capable of coaching to come to the HBCUs and coach and help bring the HBCUs back to prominence. Because the history with the HBCUs before desegregation, all the talent in the different states where the HBCUs are, all the talent was going to the HBCUs because they couldn't play at the white colleges or white universities. And so think about it. You have this ton of talent congregated, whether it be at a Grambling State, Southern, Tuskegee, Howard, Jackson State, etc. You had a talent that played one another, and they were used to playing with one another because generally the same athletes usually went to the same high school or usually stayed in the same neighborhood, etc. And so what has happened is because of desegregation, all those athletes that were going to the HBCUs started going to the white universities, and which weakened the talent pool at the HBCUs. So just giving a little history behind that, what I hope this does, it actually shows the players coming out of high school who are blue chip players, 4- and 5-star players, is that they can choose an HBCU and still make it to the NFL. Jerry Rice, example, is an example of a player that played at Mississippi Valley State. And made it to the NFL. Steve McNair is another player that went to Alcorn State, made it to the NFL. So, I mean, there are a number of players that went to the HBCUs and made it to the NFL. Doug Williams, Grambling State, I believe the first black quarterback to win a Super Bowl championship with the Washington Redskins, and I think it was 1984 85. But this just goes to show you that the talent is there at the HBCUs. I really hope a lot of former players look at this example that Dion has set, that it is quite possible to go to these HBCUs, become a coach, create your coaching staff, and create a successful team that can compete at a high level. And so I'm very happy that you see the complete turnaround of the Jackson State team. You know, I also went to a HBCU straight out of high school, Alabama State University. Go Hornets. They're not that very good, but still, I'm an alumni of the school, and it would be great if the former NFL players see this as a gold mine to become the coaches at the HBCUs and do what Dion has done. I believe Eddie George coaches at Tennessee State. I don't know what their record was this year, but that's just an example of another former player going back to the HBCU and becoming coaches. So I think this is going to be a trend in the next few years. A lot of former NFL players who have played in the game, at the NFL or the pro level, who have gained experience, and they can bring a lot back to the HBCUs and coaching these young men and showing them what it takes to get to the next level. So I'm truly excited about this weekend's game between Jackson State and Prairie View A&M. So we'll see what happens. For now, this is what I have. Have a good evening.